Hello Blaze fans and welcome back to the Sheffield United podcast. I'm going to be talking about where we have managed to we've managed to beat Reading 2-1 at Bramall Lane, which was a very good game to watch. Once again, high energetic. So let's begin with the first half. So we started off very good, a lot of high pressing. It was very shaky at the back. I felt like Liam Moore was incredibly shaky, was getting a lot of free kicks, a lot of chances. We crossed the ball into the box a couple of times and nearly scored. O'Connell had a chance from a free kick, which was very well played. And then we managed to get into the box. Obviously, Clark tries an opportunity, comes out to Coots on his weaker foot, and you're thinking, this is poor Coots. He doesn't normally shoot, and he shot with his weaker foot, and it's a beautiful goal. And that was it, 1-0. United seemed to, continue and press Reading. They were so weak at the back. I felt Tyler Blackett and Liam Moore could not just handle anything whatsoever, really. And then I've really got to say, Billy Sharp's work effort for the game, he was getting a lot more involved in the play. Felt like a strike force was really working up front, and I think he's had his critics, Sharp and Clark, but when it works, it looks really good, and I really would like to see Brooks up front with Clark or Sharp, but tell you what, Sharp had an excellent game. And moving on, that's when his goal, obviously, Sharp didn't really celebrate his goal because it was all balled up from the right hand side. It was absolutely incredible. So Baldock gets it into the box, plays a fantastic ball, and Duffy puts it across, and Sharp, with one of the easiest finishes he'll ever have, 2-0. Then, obviously, half-time. So we're thinking, we could make it 3, and we did come out second half, and we should have made it 3. We should. You rewatch it, originally I thought he's pulled off a terrific save. Sharp's tried to direct it into the corner, but it just hasn't worked. He's headed it straight at the keeper, and O'Connell couldn't get the rebound in. And then we just seemed to. I don't know. We still kept on playing well. We still kept on creating chances. But you're 2-0 down, and the last 15 minutes felt Reading had the game. Reading brought on John Swift. It was very impressive for me to watch. He was really good. They should have started him, and they took off Blackett for Paul McShane, and then all of a sudden they weren't shaky at the back at all because Blackett was gone. United seemed to be targeting him quite a lot. Paul McShane came on and they seemed to steady it down in midfield, and obviously John Swift came on and played really well, and then they got the goal. It was I wouldn't say an easy goal, but they've got through us and it's very well played. It was like our first goal, an easy one across the goal and a tap-in. A lot of people criticising Blackman, saying he should have come out and got it, but when you look at the replay, the ball's gone across the 6-yard box, and O'Connell should have done, I think, a bit better with that. We started to then lose the midfield battle, in my opinion, because we did in fact take off Duffy. We brought on Brooks to play attacking midfield, but he'll attack midfield. You're not necessarily defending, but you had to in that situation, and we lost a bit of strength in that. Even though Duffy ain't the strongest, Duffy's just got the experience, but he started to look better when we started to bring people like Lundstrom on. But Lundstrom on for Sharp, and therefore Brooks could obviously go up front. I know he's not a natural striker, but he played pretty much behind Clark, and when Lundstrom came on, added a bit of height and strength into midfield, and he was blocking stuff. Lundstrom isn't on to create anything. He isn't on to be like an Iniesta in midfield. He's just on to just disrupt the play, stop the flow. Very good. And United's defence were incredible. Every time a ball went in, United won all the headers. Carter Vickers were good for me. He was a lot more steady. He wasn't as shaky as he normally is. He was winning a lot of headers. Blackman was coming out and catching the ball a few times. Still would like Simon Moore to get back into net. I think he's a much better goalkeeper in my opinion. And then we go down the other end. Klopp misses a 1-on-1 to make it 3-1 and finish the game. But I gotta say, Reading, they only really had one shot, and I think that was a bit shaky. It was a bit boring. They came here to defend originally, Reading. You can see when we attacked throughout the game, we only had one man back because we have the left centre back and the right centre back overlapping the wingers. It's incredible. really, and what Chris Wilder's done. And you can see that sometimes last year United was a bit slow attacking in League One. I think we've improved because we've still got some of the same players, and they've had now a year and a bit playing this style of football, and now it's just getting easier and easier for them. So now they can pick off teams. And imagine if we added more quality into this team playing this style of play. It'd be incredible. It's ridiculous considering the quality we've got in our team. So that's it really for the game. I'm doing a new thing now, player ratings for the game. So let's start with Blackman in net. I've given him a 6. He had nothing really to do, and that's probably the reason I've given him a 6. I don't think that goal was his fault. Baldock I've given a 9. I think he was instrumental. Freeman's going to struggle getting back in the team. For me, I think Baldock's the better player. Basham 7, solid defensively. Same for Carter Vickers. I've given him a 7. It was so much more steady for me, and yeah. O'Connell, like Basham, you need to be so fit to do what they do, overlapping, playing like left wing backs, even though playing as a left centre back, and it's ridiculous. But I've given him an 8 because he found himself in a lot of attacking positions, and even though he didn't score them, he caused them more of a threat in both boxes. Stevens, for me, an 8, very similar to Baldock's, have a very good game, and saying he's playing in League Two last year. We've got no people in our team that played in the Championship last year. Coops for me is an 8, mainly because the goal played down in flex, 6 and a 7. You know, it was a typical flex performance, did well. For me, could have been a bit more defensively, but that isn't really flex game, even though he can do it. Duffy a 7. Arguably could have rated him higher because he plays like a holding striker. He when he gets into spaces, even though he's crowded, he'll find a way out. Played excellently. Clark a 7. It would have been an 8, probably a 9 if he scored that. Sharp an 8. He scored his goal. Wasn't really all his work, but for me, I don't know why I thought that was one of his best performances for Sheffield United. Even when he scores all the goals, he was getting involved in all the team play. And I think he has to actually realise Brooks is coming in and playing really well. You've got Donaldson on the bench. Lavery's coming back soon. You know, you got people like that knocking on the door, and Sharp has to be worried for his place. For Brooks that came on, I've given him a 4, probably very harsh. But when you're coming off the bench, couldn't really do anything. Even though he did something for a 19-year-old. It showed great experience, even though he hasn't got anywhere. He could have gone through and goal. He realised I ain't got a chance. Goes straight to the corner, holds it there for about half a minute. Excellent. So I'm being a bit harsh for a 4, probably give him a 5 or a 6. But once again, he's only come as a sub, so we couldn't do anything. Lundstrom, I'm giving you a 5. Once again, he's come on, and Wilders does come on, break up as much play as you can. So that is it for the Reading game. If you have enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. And if you'd like to get involved in the Sheffield United podcast, just message me on Twitter. My link will be in the description. And thanks for listening.
100 times over, get up, sit down. Get up, sit down. But freedom, it is all around me. 100 times over, get up, sit down.